Hey, this is Paul from Guitar World Magazine, and this month's Platinum Award goes to Ibanez Thermion amplifier head and the 412 cabinet. A couple of years ago, Ibanez introduced a similar head and cabinet, except with the solid-state power section. But what we have here is Ibanez's introduction into two-powered heads and a two-powered signal path. The Ibanez Thermion is just a powerhouse of an amp. It has two channels, an all-tube signal path, as I said before, with all mechanical relay switching, and an all-tube effects loop, and a dampening function on this, and I'll explain that a little bit later. So as you can see, this amplifier is built to last, and I will show you how the channels work and the functions of each channel. Starting with the input jack, as you can see, it's a single input jack, and there's a solitary switch for high impedance and low impedance. Usually most amps have two input jacks, one for high impedance and another one for low impedance. Here, it's all consolidated into one input, and you just switch between however you want to run your amp. Starting over here, we have the vintage channel, which is essentially a clean channel, and with a bright switch that allows you three different functions of brightness in the channel. You can have a normal, bright, and even brighter. Now I can assure you when I play this, the bright and brighter is really sharp, so it'll cut your head off. I would only recommend it if you have a really dark sounding guitar. Anyway, you got the standard EQs, the bass, middle, treble, present, and your master. And of course, there's a gain where you can dirty up the channel a little bit if that's what you choose. And then, as we move over to the second channel, we have what we call the hot channel. And it is similar to the vintage channel, but different in voicing, of course. This is where is your gain channel. And you have your gain and the standard EQ controls in your master. And there's also a dampening switch over here, which what it does is it changes the distortion characteristics of this channel. And I'll let you hear that in a little bit. And finally, on this side over here, we have the all-tube send and return effects loop, which is you plug in your stuff through the back, but you get to control the output level from the front here. Finally, the very cool thing about this amp is all the functions of this amp can be accessed with the included foot switch. As you can see, the channel, you can swap the channels. You have the dampening function on the foot switch, and you also have the ability to engage the effect loop from the foot switch. What's also very neat and well thought out about this amplifier is that if you don't have the foot switch, you can use all the features from the foot switch are available on the front panel. For example, you can channel switch from the front panel, you can use the dampening from the front panel, and you can access the effects loop, as you can see from the front panel. A very neat feature. Also, my favorite thing, of course, is the lights. As you can see, Ibanez went to great lengths of making this amp look cool. As you can see, the logo lights up when you engage the standby switch. And from the bottom here, all the controls are kind of backlit, so you get that really neat little feature. And of course, you can see all the little lights that tell you what channel you're on. Another neat little thing I should also point out is there are these little notches right here on the front panel where you can actually see where you want to set your controls. So you don't have to necessarily guess. You can sort of see the little indentations. Also, the cabinet is powered by Celestion Vintage 30 speakers, and the cabinet has the ability to be run in stereo or mono. Let's start with the vintage channel. I'm going to set the bright control to normal, and I'm going to use the bridge pickup of this guitar, and it's basically a clean setting, so you get to hear what it sounds like. Sticking with this channel, I'm just going to hit the notch to bright, keeping the same setting here, so you get to hear how it changes the characteristic of this channel. Here we go. And finally, I'm going to go right to brighter, and you'll really hear how twangy this gets here. So here we go. Finally, I am going to throw the master down a bit, and I'm going to turn up the gain so you get to hear how hot this channel can get with just the bridge pickup here too. So moving over to now the hot channel, I'm going to turn the gain all the way up. And as you can see, I'm going to leave the dampening out. So the characteristic of it sounds very clear and almost British, has a sort of a British voice to it. So let's hear what that sounds like with the bridge pickup here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stay on this channel and I'm going to hit the dampening switch from the foot switch. So you get to hear how the distortion characteristic on this channel changes. It starts to get a little darker sounding. So if you're into that real like Sabbathy sound, you'll probably love this dampening switch. So here we go. First without it and me kicking it in. Check it out. Finally, let me talk about the effects loop. And the really cool thing about the effects loop is if you don't plug anything into it, it kind of acts like a boost. So what I did is I kind of used the send and return controls here, and I kicked them up just a notch, kind of as a boost. For you can switch between either channel, so you can get like a solo boost. So what I'll do is I'll play the hot channel right now. And what I'll do is I'll kick the effects loop on, and you get to hear the boost and the jump in volume. So it's a great thing if you're in the heat of battle with a band and you want your solos to pop out. This is the way to go. Here we go. The Ibanez thermion is an amp to be reckoned with. With 120 watts of all-tube power, this amp means business. With its bulletproof construction and its excellent voicings, this amp will give you a lifetime of enjoyment by playing it hard. I urge you to check it out.